Could each one of you share with us your top resources to support in this space?
My top resources would be these two manuals. The purple one is an executive functions toolkit for teachers, and the blue one is the one that I share with parents. It's got really great strategies and tools in there.
They are both resources that we use as well.
Yeah, they're awesome.
The blue one especially for parents.
Can anyone just order those, or do we have to get them through a teacher? Or
I would imagine they're easily ordered.
Okay.
Yeah, but I can find out for definite. I guess it's just important to remember that not all one tool will fit everybody. So it's a case of just experimenting with what works for individual children. And the other resource is the app called Lumosity, which targets different executive functions, and it helps us to strengthen and grow those executive functions that we might have some legs in as well. So that's a good app for children and adults.
Andrea?
There's some other sort of soft resources, so to speak, would be using a talking tin that we talked about before, or talking, what did you call it? Talking can, yeah. And there's rainbow readers that are used in the classroom. There's sequencing cards with ready to reads. There's also a C pen, which is a reader pen that can read and has multiple functions.
Okay.
So we use those resources a lot, but we also use Smart but Scattered. There's a different series of books for the different age groups. Smart but Scattered.
Smart but Scattered.
So there's one that's aimed at children, one towards teenagers. There's an adult one as well. We also use quite a lot of kind of task type apps. So AnyDo, inspiration maps sometimes for the mind mapping software. We've got a resource called Get Ready Do Done that was created by a psychologist. If you kind of look on Google and just type in Get Ready Do Done, it will tell you how to do it. It's a method of kind of having that end goal and working backwards to work forwards. So you start with the end goal, and then you kind of break it down and look at what resources you need and what the plan of doing it might be, and we use that a lot. Alongside kind of that breaking the goals down, which we do through another method called Goal Plan Do Check, that just helps you to break it down and to kind of review it once you've done it as well.
And then of course it's the visuals and the visual timers and the scheduling with older children with colour coding books to their timetable.
Okay, thank you. So I'd like to ask everyone your takeaways from this session. Mine would be that this can affect anyone. It's not just a neurodiverse thing. It can happen to anyone, even if you're under stress. That the biggest thing I heard today that was a bit of a shock is that teenagers will probably feel this a little bit more because their brain capacity to handle things goes down to 10% when they function. So they're going to need some extra support. And as parents, I think that we could just have the best intention mindset when we approach our kids and know that they're not intentionally being lazy, not intentionally trying hard. It's just that they're going to need support, and we need to learn the tools to help them get through some of this. So can I ask each of you what your takeaways were from this session? We'll start this side.
Okay. I think I would just stress that it's really important to encourage them to ask for help and to help them to recognise that making mistakes is okay, because that's how we learn and that's how we grow. And that we all use tools and strategies to support us with our executive dysfunction, and there's nothing wrong with that.
And I would say visuals, and because visuals they just take that cognitive load away, and they're there, and don't we all like to see a sign that has a picture on it when we're in a place that we don't know? So
And mine would be just to reinforce the fact that we all have to function with executive functions, and we all have our strengths and our lags, and that executive functions are cognitive functions. So cognitive functions drive behaviours. So if we've seen behaviours in our kids that aren't ideal, to use that as a communication tool. So look at the behaviour and think what that is telling us about that child, rather than interpreting it as being naughty or something. And just trying to have those conversations and keeping those relationships open with young people. Yeah, instead of assuming the worst, I guess. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Thank you very much.